God says, "You are not here by accident, and what you are about to witness is not a coincidence." God is begging you, yes, begging you from the depth of His love, to open your heart fully in this moment, because something rare, divine, and miraculous is on its way to you. This is not just another message scrolling past your screen. This is a gentle whisper from heaven reaching out to your spirit, drawing you in closer than ever before. You are chosen to see this rare miracle today before 11 p.m., not because you are perfect, but because God has set His eyes on you with compassion, mercy, and unshakable love. This miracle is not loud or flashy, but it is real, and it is already moving toward you in silence, just like a quiet wind that brushes against your soul when you least expect it. You are not to speak of it aloud, not because it is a secret to hide in fear, but because it is a sacred gift that God wants to plant deep in your heart before the world can reach in to take it. If this message has touched even a small corner of your heart, type Amen in the comments to believe. Sometimes, we wait for signs in the clouds, for loud declarations, or for things to shake in order to believe that God is near. But in truth, God has always been near, closer than your own breath, wrapped around your every heartbeat. He has been beside you in your quietest tears, your silent prayers, your moments of confusion, and even in the seconds when you doubted whether He cared at all. He was there, holding you, even when you didn't feel it. There are moments when life feels too heavy to carry, and your spirit feels weary from battles that seem to have no end. You wonder how much longer you can keep going, and it feels like the world has turned its back on you. But in that very hour, God kneels beside you in your brokenness, and He doesn't come to scold or demand. He simply says, "Let me carry you through this." He sees everything you have gone through, everything you have lost, and everything you have had to keep hidden behind a brave smile. He knows the weight you have been trying to lift on your own. And now, in this quiet and divine moment, He is not just offering you help, He is offering you a miracle. Not a miracle that only changes things around you, but one that changes you from the inside out. God is not waiting for you to become perfect before He steps in. He wants you just as you are, flawed, tired, uncertain, yet open. Open enough to believe that maybe, just maybe, this message is meant for you. Not the person next to you, not someone more religious or more devoted, but for you. Because you are loved. Because you are known. Because even if you feel forgotten by the world, you are remembered by God. There are no accidents in the kingdom of heaven. Every second of your life, every tear that fell unnoticed, every time your voice cracked when no one was listening, every quiet act of kindness you gave without recognition, God saw it all. He treasured it. And now, He is coming with something extraordinary. If your spirit feels stirred, even if you don't fully understand why, type 1111 in the comments to trust in God. This miracle coming your way is not going to make you rich overnight or fix every problem by morning. It is going to be something better. It is going to bring you peace in the storm, clarity where there has been confusion, strength where you have felt too weak to stand, and healing where the pain has lived for too long. It is going to remind you that God never forgot about you, not even once. And while it may not happen with flashes of lightning or voices from the clouds, it will happen deep in your soul. You will wake up tomorrow and something will feel different. You'll breathe and realize the heaviness is lifting. You'll speak and notice that hope doesn't tremble in your voice anymore. You'll look around and realize the same world now feels touched by something sacred, something new. This miracle will come in the quiet spaces, in a message, a moment, a word, a breath, and you'll know without a doubt that God has touched your life. Not because you begged for it, but because He loves you too much to leave you waiting forever. If you've ever wondered if your prayers went unheard, if your cries vanished into the sky, if your faith was slipping through your hands, this moment is for you. Because sometimes, the answer to your prayers doesn't come with thunder or a flash of light. Sometimes, it comes in a simple reminder like this: right here, right now, you are not invisible to God. If your heart agrees with this truth, type 222 in the comments to say yes to God's timing. You might feel like you've been standing in the same place for too long. Doors have closed, plans have fallen apart, and you're not sure what tomorrow holds anymore. It feels like life moved on without you, like you're stuck waiting on something you can't even name. But what if this waiting wasn't wasted? What if this pause is sacred? What if God is doing something behind the curtain of your life that you can't see yet, but will change everything? God is never in a hurry, but He is always on time. While you feel delayed, He is preparing. While you feel forgotten, He is working. While you're trying to figure it all out, He's already seen the end of the story, and He knows it's going to be good. Maybe not easy, maybe not perfect in the way the world sees it, but good in the way that brings peace to your bones and healing to your soul. A powerful 7-second morning ritual, once hidden in CIA files, is resurfacing, and people are already seeing fast financial breakthroughs. It takes only seconds, yet activates a dormant wealth center in the brain most people never access. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. Sometimes God allows the delay so your roots can grow deep. He doesn't just want to fix your situation, He wants to strengthen your spirit. Because the miracle you're about to receive isn't just about the breakthrough, it's about what's going to last after the breakthrough. It's about the new strength you'll carry. The deeper faith you'll walk with. The steady calm that can't be shaken, even when the winds return. You were not made to barely get through life. You were not created just to survive the chaos. You were made to live with joy, even when joy feels hard to reach. You were made to walk in peace, not because everything is perfect, but because you walk with the one who is. When Jesus walked this earth, He didn't search for perfect people. He walked straight into the lives of the weary, the lost, the ashamed, the broken. He sat with those who others walked past. He spoke life into people who had already given up. And that same Jesus is still walking toward you, not with judgment in His hands, but with grace pouring from His heart. He is not waiting for you to have all the answers. He is not expecting you to pretend to be okay. He just wants you to be open. To let Him in. To give Him your cracked pieces and watch Him create beauty from what looked like ruins. He's not asking you to fix it. He's asking you to trust Him with it. You may not know how the story ends, but you don't have to. You only need to know who is writing it. And the one who writes your story is faithful. He knows every page before you ever turn to it. He knows how to bring healing from sorrow, strength from weakness, and beauty from ashes. He knows how to do what no one else can do. You've been strong for so long, carrying what others don't see, holding back the tears in front of smiling faces, whispering silent prayers at night hoping someone hears. And God did. He heard it all. He caught every tear. He felt every ache. And He has not forgotten. This miracle that's coming is not by accident. It was timed perfectly for you. It was planned before you ever asked for help. And now, in this gentle hour of your life, it's drawing near. Slowly. Quietly. Faithfully. If your soul feels this hope reaching out to you, type 555 in the comments to receive it. Don't be afraid if things still look the same on the outside. God often works in silence, not to hide from you, but to build something deeper within you. He changes your heart before He changes your surroundings. He gives you peace before He gives you proof. Because faith is not about seeing first, it's about believing first. And when you believe, even a little, even with trembling hands, God moves mountains. You don't need to have loud faith. Whispered faith still reaches heaven. Even the smallest prayer can shake the doors of heaven if it's offered with sincerity. Your faith, right now, just as it is enough for God to move. This is your moment to pause and breathe. To let the presence of God wrap around your heart like a warm blanket on a cold night. To let go of trying to figure it all out. To trust that even when your world feels uncertain, you are being held by the one who never lets go. Let your heart rest now. Let your worries be silenced. Let your spirit breathe again. Because the miracle is near. And when it arrives, you'll know it wasn't just a coincidence, it was love. Divine, intentional, personal love from God Himself. The kind of love that changes everything without needing permission. The kind of love that finds you right where you are and says, "You're not too late. You're right on time." You've asked for peace. You've whispered for strength. And sometimes, you've wondered if God is even listening. But today, let this be the moment where heaven reaches down, wraps its arms around you, and reminds you that your cries have never gone unheard. Every word, every silent tear, every aching question has made its way to the heart of God. You were not made to carry this weight on your own. The reason your spirit feels so tired is because you were never meant to walk alone. God is begging you, not because He's desperate, but because He longs for you to return to Him fully. Not halfway. Not just on the surface. But all the way, heart and soul. He sees how much you've been holding in, how long you've been pretending to be okay. And He wants you to know you don't have to hide anymore. If your heart hears this and feels it, type 1212 in the comments to walk by faith. There is something so sacred in your struggle, though it doesn't feel that way right now. The world may not see it, but God does. He sees the late nights where you sit with your thoughts, trying to stay strong. He sees the mornings where you wake up with a heaviness you can't explain. He knows the battles you're fighting inside, the fear, the doubt, the wounds from the past, the uncertainty of the future. And through all of it, He is still saying, "Come to me. Let me give you rest." You may think that because you've fallen or made mistakes or drifted away, that you no longer deserve to be held by grace. But the truth is, God never once left you. Even when you turned away, He stayed. Even when your heart was hardened, He remained soft toward you. Even when you stopped believing in miracles, He kept planning them for you. A simple but powerful 7-second at-home ritual, it's hidden in CIA files for years, is now changing lives rapidly. Backed by neuroscience research, it can begin shifting your financial direction in just days. Click the link in the description and comments now and step into abundance today. This miracle that is coming to your life, it's not just a blessing for the sake of blessing. It's a reminder. A reminder that God has always been in control, even when everything felt like it was falling apart. It's a gentle nudge that says, I never forgot about you. Sometimes, miracles aren't big explosions. They aren't grand or loud. Sometimes, they're small shifts that suddenly bring light to places that were once dark. Sometimes, they come when you're just about to give up, just when you think it's over. And then, something shifts. Something changes. And you realize God had been working all along, behind the scenes, beyond what your eyes could see. You've waited. You've hoped. You've tried to stay strong. And now, God is meeting you in your waiting with something so tender, so personal, that only you will truly understand how much it means. Because this miracle was shaped just for you. It carries the fingerprints of heaven, designed with the very things your heart has quietly prayed for. This is not the end of your story. This is not where your journey ends. This is a turning point. A sacred invitation to step into something new. Not because you've earned it, but because you've endured. Because even in your doubt, you held on. Even in your weakness, you didn't let go completely. And God honors that. He cherishes it. He isn't looking for perfect faith. He's looking for your heart. Even if it's broken. Even if it's scared. Even if it feels too far gone. Bring it anyway. Offer it anyway. God is not intimidated by your pain or your past. He's ready to take it all and replace it with something far greater. If you've ever felt like giving up, like walking away, like hiding for good, type 1919 in the comments to receive miracles. Healing is coming. Not just for your body, but for your soul. Restoration is coming. Not just for your life, but for your heart. Peace is coming. Not the kind that depends on circumstances, but the kind that remains even when things are still uncertain. And love, deep, overwhelming, unconditional love, is already being poured out on you. You might not see it yet. You might still feel like you're standing in the middle of the storm. But soon, you'll feel it. You'll look around and realize that something inside you has shifted. The weight has started to lift. The tears have begun to slow. The hope that once felt too far is now gently blooming again. God doesn't rush healing. He doesn't force transformation. He walks with you through it. Step by step. Breath by breath. And the moment you surrender, even a little, even quietly, He begins to rebuild you from the inside. Not into who you were, but into someone stronger, wiser, softer, and filled with His presence. You don't have to run anymore. You don't have to strive. You don't have to perform. You just have to rest in the truth that you are chosen. Not accidentally. Not randomly. But intentionally. You are chosen by the Creator of the universe to experience something so real, so tender, that it can only be described as divine. So, breathe. Pause. Let this message settle into your soul. Let it speak to the places that haven't felt seen in a long time. Let it break through the walls you built to protect yourself. Let it reach the quiet places you stopped sharing with others. Because God is speaking to you. Right now. Not by accident, not as a coincidence, but as a miracle wrapped in words. Nothing about your journey has been wasted, and nothing you carried in silence was unseen. God has been leaning close, watching every step, and now He is drawing you into a deeper awareness of His presence, where a rare and personal blessing begins to take shape within your soul. There are times when God works openly, and there are times when He works in holy silence. This is one of those silent times where heaven moves softly, not to overwhelm you, but to protect the tenderness of what is being formed. God knows how easily fear, doubt, or the noise of the world can steal peace before it has time to grow. That is why this moment feels gentle, private, and deeply personal, like a whisper meant only for your heart. You may have felt lately as though something was shifting without explanation, as though your spirit was being stirred even while your circumstances remained the same. That stirring is not confusion. It is preparation. God prepares the heart before He reveals the gift. He strengthens the roots before the fruit appears. And He settles your spirit before He brings clarity. What you are sensing is not imagination, but alignment. If your heart feels calm while reading this, even in a small way, type "yes" in the comments to affirm faith. God is not distant from your pain, and He has never dismissed your prayers because they were repeated or imperfect. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion still rose with meaning. Every moment you asked for help without words still reached Him. God listens not only to sound, but to intention, and your intention has always been to survive with faith, even when faith felt fragile. Jesus understands weariness in a way that reaches beyond human comfort. He knows what it means to walk forward while carrying invisible weight. He knows what it means to be misunderstood, overlooked, and surrounded by noise while holding peace within. And it is that same peace He is offering you now. Not peace that erases memory, but peace that softens its sharpest edges and restores your ability to hope again. You are not weak for needing reassurance. You are human, and God delights in meeting you where you are, not where you think you should be. He does not demand strength before offering help. He offers help so that strength can return. The love of God does not push. It waits patiently, gently, faithfully. What if wealth was never about luck, but a hidden brain signal buried in CIA files? This frequency is opening doors, attracting opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. What is coming into your life is not meant to impress others or change your image. It is meant to heal you quietly. It is meant to bring rest where there has been restlessness, and confidence where uncertainty lived too long. This miracle is shaped like peace returning to your thoughts, like joy finding you again in small moments, like hope rising without effort. God knows how many times you told yourself to be strong when you wanted to rest. He knows how often you held your tears until night. He knows the courage it took to keep believing when nothing changed outwardly. That courage did not go unnoticed. Heaven counts endurance as faith. Sometimes God delays the visible answer because the invisible work is still unfolding. He is aligning people, moments, and inner readiness. He is removing what no longer serves your growth and strengthening what will sustain you later. When the moment arrives, you will not need to chase it. It will meet you gently, right where you are. If you trust Jesus even while not understanding everything, type 666 in the comments to place your trust. This season of your life is not punishment. It is preparation wrapped in patience. God does not break hearts to teach lessons. He walks with hearts through storms so they can learn how deeply loved they are. The closeness you feel now is intentional. God draws near when transformation is near. You may still wake up with concerns, but you will also notice a quiet steadiness growing inside you. You may still face challenges, but they will not shake you the way they once did. This is how God restores. He does not always remove the mountain immediately. Sometimes He strengthens your footing so you can stand in peace while He reshapes the path. Jesus never rushes healing. He honors the pace of the heart. He restores gently so that the healing lasts. And what He is placing in you now will last. It will anchor you in moments where you once felt lost. It will remind you who you are when doubt tries to speak louder than truth. You are not forgotten in the crowd of the world. You are known personally by God. He knows your name, your history, your fears, and your quiet hopes. He knows the parts of you that feel unseen by others, and He treasures them. When God chooses someone, He does so with intention, not impulse. This is why you were drawn here now. Not by chance, but by care. Not by fear, but by love. God is steady, faithful, and kind, and His plans for you carry purpose that extends beyond this moment. Let your heart remain open. Let your thoughts rest. Let your spirit breathe without pressure. God is not rushing you, and He is not leaving you behind. He is walking with you, step by step, shaping something meaningful, something healing, something quietly powerful. That is why, right now, in this very moment, He's calling you to pause. Not to give up. Not to run. But to pause and remember who walks beside you. This message wasn't sent to everyone, it was meant for you. You were chosen to see it, not by accident, but because God is doing something personal in your life that no one else would fully understand. There's something deeply sacred about the way God works. He doesn't force. He doesn't rush. He speaks softly, gently, through moments that seem ordinary but hold eternal weight. That heaviness in your heart isn't being ignored. That ache in your soul hasn't gone unnoticed. And the reason you're reading this is because God is near, and He wants you to know, you're not too late, and it's not too late for you. If your heart is open to receive what's coming next, type 2323 in the comments to say yes to God's plan. You might be tired, Tired of believing for better. Tired of praying the same prayer. Tired of waiting while it seems like others are moving forward. But what if this delay was never meant to destroy your hope, but to deepen your trust? What if this stillness is the space where God is making room for the miracle? You've been planting seeds in faith, even when you couldn't see the harvest. You've stayed kind when no one noticed. You've given when you barely had enough for yourself. You've prayed for others while silently wishing someone would pray for you. God saw it all. And He didn't forget. This miracle, this quiet shift in your life, is not just about answered prayer. It's about restoration. It's about returning what was taken, mending what was broken, and bringing you back to life in places you didn't even realize had grown numb. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's slow, soft, like sunlight creeping into a room after a long night. You don't need to do anything big right now. You don't need to prove yourself or try harder. All you need to do is stay close to Him. Just rest. Just breathe. Just let your soul be reminded that God's presence isn't a reward for getting everything right. His presence is your constant. Whether you're strong or struggling. Whether you're confident or lost. He doesn't leave. There are blessings that are only released through brokenness. Not because God enjoys seeing you struggle, but because it's often in those tender moments where you stop striving and start surrendering. And in surrender, there is peace. In surrender, there is power. Not your own, but His. The healing you've been waiting for might not come all at once, but it will come. And when it does, it will touch every part of your life, not just your circumstances, but your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, and your sense of worth. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. You are not too broken to be restored. If something inside you knows that this message is for you, even if you can't explain why, type 2020 in the comments to claim your miracle. A 7-second at-home ritual, scientifically proven by neuroscience labs and hidden for decades in CIA files, is now public, and people are seeing money flow into their lives. Scientists say it activates a brain pathway linked to abundance. Click the link in the comments below before this knowledge disappears again. The world moves fast and often overlooks the quiet hearts. But God doesn't. He notices every act of love you gave without expecting anything back. He remembers every moment you encouraged someone else, even while you were secretly hurting. And now, it's your turn to receive. Not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. You were never meant to figure it all out alone. God doesn't want your perfection, He wants your presence. He wants to sit with you in the mess, in the doubt, in the fear. He wants to lift the pressure off your shoulders and remind you that you are deeply loved exactly as you are. There's something beautiful happening in you right now. A quiet awakening. A soft return to trust. Your heart may still carry questions, but it's also starting to carry hope again. That's not small. That's not insignificant. That is the beginning of something holy. You don't have to be afraid of what comes next. You don't have to be afraid of waiting, or wondering, or starting over. Because no matter what changes around you, God stays the same. He remains. He leads. And when you cannot walk, He carries. Don't rush through this moment. Let it sit with you. Let it wash over the parts of your heart that have grown tired from pretending to be strong. Let God meet you right there, in your realness, your rawness, your weakness. That's where miracles begin. Not in perfection, but in surrender. You are not just someone who stumbled upon this message. You are someone deeply known and deeply loved by the Creator of everything. That means your pain has purpose. Your waiting has weight. And your life is filled with meaning, even when it feels quiet or forgotten. So let your heart rest. Let your thoughts slow down. You don't need all the answers. You don't need to see the whole plan. You just need to hold on to the truth that God has never left you, not for one moment, and He's not going to start now. And He has never turned away. You've come through too much to give up now, and the reason your heart is still beating with even a flicker of hope is because God has preserved you for something greater than what you've seen so far. This moment, right now, is part of that greater plan. There is a miracle moving quietly in your direction. It may not come wrapped in lightning or applause, but it is on its way, shaped in peace, built in love, and carried by grace. You won't need to chase it or earn it. You'll just need to be still enough to receive it. That's how God works, through quiet wonders, through moments we almost overlook, through unexpected peace that suddenly makes us breathe easier, even when nothing has changed around us. If something inside you is starting to feel lighter right now, even just a little, type 1111 in the comments to trust in God's presence. You may not have told anyone how tired you really are. You might be smiling on the outside while something inside you is quietly asking, how much longer can I do this? But the truth is, even when you feel like you're barely holding on, God is holding you. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to hide your weariness. You are allowed to feel it all, and still be deeply loved through it. There's a beautiful truth that God wants to whisper to your soul today: you are not behind. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. The journey you're on may not look like anyone else's, and that's because it was never meant to. Your story is being written with purpose, and not one page is wasted. Even the chapters filled with sorrow and silence are carrying seeds of healing and wisdom that will bloom in the right time. God is not waiting for you to get stronger before He steps in. He steps in because He knows you're tired. He reaches for you not after you've fixed yourself, but right in the middle of your mess. He brings peace not because the storm is over, but so you'll remember you're not alone while you walk through it. There is a gentle healing taking place inside you, even if you can't see it yet. You might still feel overwhelmed, unsure, or afraid. But slowly, something sacred is returning. A calmness. A sense of safety. A small, steady whisper saying, "You're going to be okay. I've got you." That whisper is from Him. And it is true. Sometimes, the miracle isn't that everything changes at once. Sometimes, the miracle is that you change. You stop carrying what was never yours to hold. You stop fearing the unknown. You stop doubting your worth. And you start believing that God meant what He said when He promised never to leave you, never to forsake you, and never to stop loving you. You've grown through so much. You've been brave in ways no one saw. You've stayed soft in a world that often feels cold. And God honors every bit of that. He doesn't measure your progress by how loudly you shout your faith, but by how gently you keep going when it would be easier to give up. If your heart feels even a small flicker of hope returning, type 222 in the comments to agree with God's promise. What you're stepping into is not just a new season, it's a new beginning. A deeper one. One where you'll no longer feel the need to prove yourself to anyone. One where your peace won't depend on your surroundings. One where your joy will flow from a place of quiet trust instead of constant striving. The healing that's coming isn't temporary. It won't just patch the surface. God is reaching down to the roots, to the places no one else has touched, to restore, to renew, and to rebuild. He's not just healing your circumstances. He's healing you. The you that felt unseen. The you that carried too much. The you that gave away love and received silence. That version of you matters deeply to Him, and He is taking care of it all. You are not going backwards, no matter how slow things may seem. Even in stillness, even in waiting, even in those moments when you wonder if you've missed it, God is working. He is preparing. He is building something so full of grace and beauty that when it finally arrives, it will make sense of everything that came before it. A classified 7-second morning ritual, once buried in CIA files, is quietly transforming financial lives. In under 30 seconds, it helps shift the mind from scarcity to wealth, with many reporting surprise income and peace. Click the link in the comments below before the page is removed. And when you look back on this time, you won't remember it as the season where you lost everything. You'll remember it as the season where you found God again in the quiet. Where you learned to rest instead of rush. Where you discovered that faith doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it's just the decision to keep showing up, day after day, with an open heart. You don't need to try so hard to hold it all together. You just need to let God hold you. Let Him love you through this. Let Him speak peace into your tired places. He's not disappointed in your struggle. He understands it. And He's already walking beside you with mercy in His hands and hope in His heart. Let yourself believe again. Let yourself rest. Let your heart know, deeply, that you are not forgotten, not unseen, not too far gone. You are loved, and that love is carrying a miracle straight to you. It may not look the way you imagined. It may not arrive with noise. But when it comes, it will feel like peace, like breath, like home. God has been with you in ways you could not always sense, shaping you through patience, guarding you through mercy, and holding you through love that never loosened its grip. There are seasons when God allows the noise of the world to fade so you can hear His voice more clearly. Those seasons can feel lonely, confusing, and heavy, because they strip away distractions and leave you face to face with your own heart. But this is also where the deepest healing happens. God does not rush these moments. He sits with you in them. He listens. He understands. And He never asks you to pretend that everything is fine when it isn't. You might have wondered why things have been so quiet lately, why answers haven't come the way you expected, why the path ahead still feels uncertain. But quiet does not mean absence. Silence does not mean abandonment. Sometimes silence is God protecting you from what you are not ready to hear yet, while preparing you for what is about to arrive. He knows the exact moment when your heart will be able to receive it without fear. If your spirit feels calm even while unanswered questions remain, type Amen in the comments to rest in God's peace. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not failing because you need rest. Even Jesus withdrew to quiet places to breathe, to reflect, to reconnect with the Father. God understands the human heart because He created it. He knows its limits. He knows its aches. And He does not ask you to exceed what you are capable of. He asks you to trust Him enough to lay your burdens down. What is unfolding in your life right now is not meant to confuse you or harm you. It is meant to realign you. Sometimes God gently shifts things so you are no longer leaning on what cannot truly support you. Sometimes He removes what you relied on so you can discover the strength of His presence more clearly. This is not loss without purpose. This is refinement wrapped in compassion. You have been learning to listen to your soul again. To notice what drains you and what restores you. To recognize when you are carrying weight that was never meant for you. This awareness is not accidental. It is part of God's healing work. He is teaching you how to live from a place of peace rather than pressure, from trust rather than fear. The miracle moving toward you is not rushed, because God does not deliver blessings carelessly. He prepares both the gift and the heart that will receive it. What is coming will meet you at the right time, when it can settle gently into your life instead of overwhelming it. You will recognize it not by shock, but by peace. It will feel familiar, as if your soul has been waiting for it without knowing how to name it. You may still feel moments of doubt. That does not disqualify you. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. Giving up is. And you have not given up. Even when your hope felt thin, you kept going. Even when your prayers felt quiet, you kept believing enough to whisper them. God honors that. He sees that. And He responds with grace. There are parts of your heart that have been guarded for a long time, not because you are closed off, but because you were protecting yourself from being hurt again. God understands those walls. He does not tear them down forcefully. He waits until you are ready, then He gently opens doors instead. Healing with God is never violent. It is tender. It is patient. It is safe. If you trust God even when you cannot see the outcome yet, type 1212 in the comments to walk forward in faith. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to take breaks. You are allowed to feel joy and sorrow in the same season. None of this confuses God. He knows the complexity of the human heart. He created it with depth, not simplicity. And He meets you at every layer of who you are, not just the parts that seem strong. What you are becoming matters more than what you are achieving. God is not measuring your worth by productivity or perfection. He is shaping your character, deepening your compassion, strengthening your trust. These things last longer than success and reach farther than recognition. They form a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. One day you will look back on this season and realize it changed you in ways you didn't notice at the time. You will see how your patience grew, how your boundaries strengthened, how your faith softened and deepened at the same time. You will recognize how God was teaching you to rely on Him rather than rushing ahead on your own. Do you know, inside your brain is a small region linked to wealth and success, once buried in restricted research and hidden in CIA files. This newly revealed frequency is helping people replace stress with financial ease, and God has guided you here. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brain wave now. Until that day, God asks only that you stay open. Open to rest. Open to hope. Open to the possibility that something good can still happen, even after disappointment. Even after delay. Even after heartbreak. God specializes in restoration that does not erase the past but redeems it. You are not walking this path alone. Even when it feels quiet, even when you feel unseen, God is present. He is steady. He is kind. He is attentive to every detail of your life. Nothing escapes His care, not even the thoughts you never speak aloud. Trying to be strong for everyone. Trying to keep the peace. Trying to find answers where none seem to come. But God is asking you, not with force but with deep compassion, to let Him carry what you no longer can. Not tomorrow, not later, right now, in this quiet space. There's no need to explain why you feel exhausted. There's no need to hide the tears you've pushed down or the emotions you've tried to silence. God already knows, and still, He loves you the same. He's not ashamed of your pain. He's not disappointed in your doubt. He is not surprised by your struggle. He understands every piece of your heart, especially the broken ones, and He holds them tenderly, not with judgment, but with mercy. If you believe God has been speaking directly to you today through this message, type 555 in the comments to receive it fully. This life can be heavy. People don't always notice what you carry. They see your smile, but not the sorrow you've buried beneath it. They hear your laugh, but not the longing that echoes behind it. But God sees it all. And He has never stopped reaching for you. Even in your darkest nights, when you felt like giving up, His hand never left yours. That's how much He loves you. You don't have to keep pretending. You don't need to act like everything is fine when it isn't. God does His best work in the raw, honest places of our hearts. He doesn't need your perfection. He just wants your presence. Even if you feel too broken, too tired, too uncertain, He still wants you. Not a better version of you. Just you. What's coming into your life next is not just something to fix a few broken areas. It's something that will gently transform everything from the inside out. God isn't just restoring what you lost. He's renewing you. He's rebuilding your peace. He's mending the soft places that hardened over time from too much disappointment. He's breathing hope into the parts of your soul you thought had gone silent forever. Sometimes miracles don't arrive with trumpets or applause. Sometimes they come softly, like a moment of deep peace when you haven't felt calm in weeks. Sometimes they come through tears that finally fall after being held back for too long. Sometimes they come as quiet strength when you wake up one day and realize the pain doesn't hurt quite as much anymore. That's still a miracle. that's still God at work. You are allowed to grieve what was, but also to hope for what's ahead. You are allowed to feel all of it, sadness, joy, weariness, courage, all tangled together. God welcomes it all. He walks with you through it all. And He will never ask you to go where He hasn't already gone ahead to prepare a way. If you believe you've been chosen to see this rare miracle unfold, type 1919 in the comments and keep your heart open. The truth is, you are not behind. You are not failing. You are not forgotten. You are being guided, step by step, by a God who knows what you need even when you don't have the words to ask for it. He knows your past, your present, and your future. And still, He says you are worthy of love, worthy of rest, and worthy of a new beginning. It's okay if the future feels uncertain. It's okay if you don't have a plan. You don't need to have it all figured out to trust that God does. Your only job right now is to stay open, stay tender, and stay willing to take one small step at a time. Let Him lead. Let Him surprise you. Let Him do what only He can do. The healing you've prayed for is not forgotten. The dreams you've tucked away are not ignored. The prayers you whispered in the dark are not lost. God collects every word, every tear, every hope, and in His perfect time, He brings beauty from what looked like ruins. You may not even realize it yet, but the healing has already begun. The miracle isn't just coming, it's already in motion. In the stillness. In the waiting. In the quiet moments when your soul leans in a little closer to His love. And though you may still walk through days that feel uncertain, you will also begin to feel a deep calm that you didn't have before. That's the presence of God. That's the gift of His peace. That's how you'll know that something holy is happening, not just around you, but within you. You're not too late. You haven't missed it. What's for you is already on its way, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion. Trust that the silence is not the end of your story. It's the sacred beginning of something new. Something beautiful. Something eternal. You may be surrounded by noise or caught in silence, but either way, God is whispering to you with a love that has never wavered, never changed, and never left your side, not for a single moment. Financial freedom is not about effort, but activating a hidden brain signal once buried in CIA files. Neuroscience shows this sound wave helps attract money and opportunity faster, and thousands are already seeing unexpected income. Click the link in the description and comments now to activate the ancient money wave today. You might be used to hiding how you really feel, to keeping your struggles tucked beneath a smile, to pushing forward even when your soul is begging for rest. But God sees beyond the surface. He hears the words you don't say. He understands the weight behind your quiet, "I'm fine." And today, He's asking you not to carry it alone anymore. Lay it down. Let Him hold what you've been holding for too long. Let Him speak healing into the places that have forgotten how to hope. If this message is touching something deep inside your heart, type "yes" in the comments to say you receive it. There's a kind of tiredness that sleep can't fix. A kind of ache that isn't physical. And God knows that kind of pain well. He watched His Son walk through it. Jesus felt it all, rejection, sorrow, loneliness, betrayal, and He still chose love. He still chose you. And now, in your own suffering, He sits beside you. Not far off. Not distant. Right here. You don't need to perform for God. You don't need to prove your worth. You already have it. Not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. He loved you first. He chose you long before you ever knew how to choose Him. And He hasn't changed His mind about you, even on your worst days. The miracle that's coming isn't just about solving problems. It's deeper than that. It's about restoration. About joy returning where emptiness had settled. About peace finding its way into the corners of your heart that had forgotten what calm felt like. About waking up with a sense of purpose again, even if nothing on the outside has shifted yet. God is not late. He is not silent. He is not passive. He is preparing something that will not only bless you, but complete you. And when it arrives, it will make sense of the silence, the waiting, the wandering. You'll look back on this season and see how His hands were at work the whole time, gently moving the pieces into place, even while you were wondering if He heard you at all. This miracle may not be loud. It may not be seen by anyone else. But you will feel it. In the quiet of your soul, something will shift. The fear will begin to fade. The pressure will begin to lift. And a gentle knowing will settle in, God didn't forget you. He came for you. If your heart is ready to make space for what's next, type 222 in the comments and keep believing. It's okay if the healing takes time. It's okay if you don't feel strong every day. It's okay if your prayers are sometimes quiet, unsure, or even broken. God doesn't measure the volume of your faith. He sees the courage it takes just to keep going. And He meets you right there, with no expectations, just love. This season is not a punishment. It's not a delay without meaning. It's preparation. God is softening the soil of your heart so when the blessing comes, it has somewhere to stay. He's refining your trust so that when the door opens, you'll walk through it with steady steps, not fear. And even though you may not understand everything now, you will later. And when you do, it will be beautiful. You've been praying for change, asking for signs, searching for something to show you that your pain matters, that your life has meaning. This message is your sign. Not because of the words, but because of the timing. Because your heart is ready to hear it. Because God chose this moment to speak directly to you. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. You are not broken beyond repair. You are beloved. You are worthy. You are being held by hands that will never drop you. And no matter what you face, you will never face it alone again. Let yourself rest in that truth. Let the pressure go. Let your soul breathe. You've carried enough. You've waited long enough. God is doing something new. And this time, you won't have to strive to keep it. You'll simply receive it. Because it's not about what you earn. It's about what you're loved enough to receive. And you, child of God, are loved more than words can ever explain. More than the past can define. more than your doubt can undo. You were loved at your lowest. You are loved right now. And you will be loved forever. That's the promise. That's the miracle. That's the truth that will carry you forward from here.